Good evening and welcome to Orenda Books at Bedtime. I'm Karen Sullivan and I'm publisher of Orenda Books, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to another author reading from the comfort of their own home. This evening we have a return visit from Michael J. Malone. This is A Suitable Lie. This is a psychological thriller, domestic noir, that he wrote for us 3 years ago. It was the first book that we published by Michael Malone, and it remains one of our best-selling titles and probably one of the most important, because there is a message and a theme in here, a social issue that is definitely underaddressed, and he deals with it sensitively and beautifully. This has had incredible praise from the crime community and the press. Eva Dolan says, bristling with unease, this is domestic noir at its darkest, twisting the marriage thriller into a new and troubling shape. Carol Ramsey says it's emotionally intelligent and engaging. Marnie Riches says it's a chilling tale of the unexpected that journeys right into the dark heart of domesticity. Luca Vesta says, a story that I won't forget in a hurry. Malone is a massive talent. Get on board now. Mel Sherratt says, a disturbing and realistic portrayal of domestic noir with a twist. A shocking and yet compelling read. And this is a beautifully written, wonderful book. Michael is a poet, and this shines through his writing. Andy Boyd thinks that he's the luckiest man alive. Widowed with a young child after his wife dies in childbirth, he's certain that he will never again experience true love. And then he meets Anna. Feisty, fun, and beautiful, she's his perfect match. And she loves his son like he is her own. When Andy ends up in the hospital on his wedding night, he receives his first clue that Anna is not all that she seems. Desperate for that happy ever after, he ignores it. A dangerous mistake that could cost him everything. A brave, deeply moving, page-turning psychological thriller. A Suitable Lie is a stunning departure from one of Scotland's finest crime writers, exploring the lengths that people will go to hide their deepest secrets, even if it kills them. And now, over to Michael in Air.
This evening I want to read to you from the prologue for my novel A Suitable Lie. I don't know how long I walked for. My heels slammed onto concrete until they almost went numb. Fists tight in my pockets. I walked and walked and walked. Light from a shop window spilled onto the pavement just in front of me. What was the shop doing open at this hour? For the first time I noticed my calves were so cold they had no feeling in them. My watch read 6:30. What the hell was I doing? I'd been walking for hours, wearing only boxer shorts and a t-shirt under my coat. On my feet a pair of mule slippers. What the hell was I thinking? The shop door opened. A small bald man came out and propped an advertising board for a newspaper against the wall. He stared at me, as if I was an idiot searching for his village. Looking for my dog, I muttered, feeling as if I had to offer this total stranger an excuse for the way I was dressed. He shrugged and walked back into his shop. The newspaper headline on the board read, Divorced Dad Kills Kids. As I turned and walked away from the shop, I realised just how weary I was. Each step was an effort, and each time my heel jarred onto the ground, the shock waves reached my spine. The banner had sapped what strength I had left. What kind of world did we live in where someone would think such a crime was their only way out? What kind of a God would countenance such an act? I stumbled to a halt. What on earth would drive a man to do such a thing? Only an extreme emotion would result in such a dreadful action. Was it desperation? Anger? Jealousy? A disturbed mind's version of an act of love? I willed myself to continue walking, and my own situation pushed its way to the front of my thoughts, like a small child in a crowd shouting, "What about me? What about me?" Would I ever feel that desperate. The banner blazed like a warning. I would have to find a solution. I would have to find a way out of this trap. At last my circuit brought me home. The door was unlocked. I pushed it open and walked inside. Pausing by the living room door, I saw her curled up in a chair, fast asleep. Even in the weak light, I could make out the silted lines of mascara that ran from her eyes and down the pale expanse of her cheeks, almost past her nose. She had obviously fallen asleep waiting for me. That was the first time I thought about murder.
Thanks, Michael. That was chilling and devastating. But now we have a special surprise for you. Michael's going to read to you from a poem that he's written. Here we go.
For a wee change, or a wee experiment, I thought I would record a poem and hopefully like it. It's called The Wishbone. We found the stick planted at the edge where surf kissed sand, standing thigh high, femur thick, out of time and place, and plain to porcelain by a rogue's gallery of elements. Bark worn or torn from its length by the ceaseless ebb and surge of wind, water, and sand. In a pause between waves, you plucked it from its long weight, and flourished it above your head like it was a gift from a spendthrift god, while I watched the next lazy wave wash sand across its lost position, as cleanly as if time had neglected to register its canute-like moment. "How smooth," you said, and dimpled a smile, while your thumb and forefinger stroked the wood's silhouette, as if it might leak precious oil to perfume your print, until the day romance cured the world. Then you searched the waterline, demanding the riddle's answer. It's a message, you decided. A branch dreaming of forests, of stepping beyond itself to a world where trees walked and water whispered the secret of now. Poets, I laughed. Sometimes a stick is just a stick. I grinned and noted paw and footprints slowly seeping to erasure, leading back to the car park. Man and his wagtail shadow playing erstwhile messenger. But look, you said, and ran your fingers to the end, where the stick split in two. Like a divining rod, you suggested. Or a stick. Or a snake's tongue, yours thrusting out pink and moist and heart-thrilling. Or a stick, I grabbed for it. Or a wishbone, you sang high on a squeal, while you dodged and twisted from my grip. Then, a black furred blur, a scuff of blunt claw on wet sand, and the stick was jutting out either side of a Labrador's grin. A windmilling tail, bright eyes and a yip. An owner's whistle, and the dog galloped off with its prize, paws kicking up tiny sandstorms. Look, a metaphor, I said. A dog, you said. It's a black dog returning a white stick to a careless god. A dog, you mouthed and huddled close, needing my arms and sheltering shoulders. A messenger dog, returning an unused wish, I said, and drew you close, breathing your appled hair. You pouted at lost opportunities and wishes stumbling to be heard. Mouth and breath warm and moist in the shell of my ear, you whispered, "Tell me the dog was just a dog."
Thanks very much for listening, everyone. See you next week at 8 p.m. for another episode of Orenda Books at Bedtime.